Page 56, Sonatina in G major. Sonatina is just a small sonata. They're fun to play. This piece is a neat piece, a very famous piece. Lots of piano students play this piece in one arrangement or another. Now let's talk about it. 4/4 time with one sharp. It's in the key of G major. 1, 2. Now, what's the fingering? Here to 4. Then I would recommend you go ahead and change that to a 3. So you're using different fingers on these repeated. What's their fingering? Their fingering is fine, but I'll offer a suggestion here at the first measure of the second line. We're here, you can just stay in this position and use 4th finger, and then 3, and then bring the 2nd finger down there. I don't have to cross over the thumb. And anywhere else this passage is, I'd finger it the same way. However you choose to finger it here, finger it the same way in the other spots. That's the last measure, second line. It's the 4th finger, and then substitute thumb here, and then go on. Now here, the last line there, cross over. And if you want to use 2nd finger again, I'd probably use another finger just so I'm not using the same finger on repeated notes. Don't have to, that's fine. Use 2nd finger again. Go on. Watch this fingering at top 57. Here. We want to finger this legato. And I don't like using those over the thumb, 1, 2, 1, 2 like that, but it works out in this case, so that's fine. This is not a real fast piece anyway. Here it's 3, 1, 2, and then come down. And we're back to our original theme. So finger this part the way you fingered at the beginning of the piece. When you get to page 58, second line, this is a different melody here. Watch this fingering. I like this fingering. You want this as legato as you can with the fingers. And actually, it's possible to play it more legato if you change fingers and use the same finger, because the other finger's right there ready to go. It's just easier. I like this fingering because those notes are a chord, and that's what we're doing. And then you do that again, and then the last line, here. Okay. Left hand, here. Again, play the left hand as legato as you can. And then down here. And now the Alberti bass, the pattern here. All legato, all connected, everything. Except for the rests. The second line is rest, rest. If you can connect the top note there, do it. If not, don't worry about it. That's tricky. Again, I'm lowering the hand down to play the chord and just lifting up the here, and then back to what we were doing at the beginning. Over on page 58, second line, here it's a different kind of broken pattern here. It's all legato. Don't pay any attention to these slurs here. No, don't pay any attention. Just slur it all together. Run it all together. It's all legato. The last line, and then here. Put the hands together. You go as slow as you got to go to get it first. I tend to spend. I've played this for a while. So now that's tricky. You got to watch. The notes aren't what you might think they are. They're at the end of the second line. Last measure you hear. Watch this. Here, here. You got an A here. Here. So what's that? One up. Remember to lift up the right hand or the left hand when you on beat 2. So this coming down is by itself. You're back to what you're doing. On page 58, second line, where this other thing is. And then at the bottom is just the chords. Add the articulation, that's the phrasing. I don't know if there's any other articulation in here. Let's take a look. So here, lift up here in the right hand, not the left. Two note slurs there. I'm not trying to play the second note staccato. I'm just separating it from the next note, so it's short. Then lift up, lift up, lift up. Between each of these slurs we're lifting up in the right hand. I'm playing the left hand legato throughout. We're on page 58 here, second line. Again, the left hand's legato throughout. You get the articulation sort of going, add the dynamic. Now some people you can do the dynamics and articulation at the same time. You do multiple things at a time depending on how challenging the piece is for you. I'd like to take them one thing at a time because I don't know how well you're doing. So on the dynamics is for the right hand. Keep the left hand out of the way. You hear ba-da, ba-da, ba-da. And I start this out a little louder and then come back down. And I tend to get a little louder. It's like shaping the phrase. When you end a phrase, you kind of come off of it, and then the next phrase you can start up again. So, and then here, this is medium loud. It's a little louder. I tend to crescendo as it's like a sequence. You're here. A little louder. And each of these runs I tip to start to run a little louder. Now you're starting lower, softer, and then crescendo. You're back to where you were at the beginning. idea. And it says dolce, which means sweetly, singing style. You got to get to know it first, well enough that you're not thinking about notes and rhythms and all that. And then you can feel the music, and you feel the dolce, and you feel the dynamics. That's when you really get into it. Then on page 58, second line, this is a little louder. For the right hand, keep the left hand out of the way. And you're staying there until the end, the last line, the last few measures, and then you're coming back down. That's a fermata on that. You just kind of hold it and let the sound die away. As far as the speed goes, moderato's in the middle. I think that's about what I've been doing. It's your moderato. Learn it slow, and then you can pick it up. I don't recommend any pedal on this, as much as I love to pedal Beethoven. This Sonatina is one of the first earlier things, and it's more probably for harpsichord than piano, although he may have, I don't know, it's a piano piece, but it would work quite well on a harpsichord. You don't need pedal on this. Keep it clean. This is more in a true classical style than a romantic style, so here. Find recordings of this available. They're all over the place, so listen to it. I would prefer you get to know it yourself, play it, do your best with it on what you think it should be like, and then listen to other recordings and compare what you've done to them, because then you may hear things they do. Oh, I like that, I'll use that. And you may have stuff that you've done. Oh, I like what I did better, I'm sticking with that type thing. But otherwise, what you do is you just listen to somebody else play it, and then you copy them. I'm opposed to that. I mean, it might work if you're in a hurry to learn something quick, you don't have time to figure it out. Although I pretty much already played it for you, so the cat's out of the bag there, I suppose. But again, try and do it yourself as much as you can.